What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCGU University for the game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today we're going to be going over Cassie Cage maining Spirit Shotgun. Let's jump into it. Alright, so this is my Cassie Cage deck, or not my Cassie Cage deck, but Jeff's Cassie Cage deck that he played in the Campus Championship this past week. The challenge was that every deck was given a singular ultra rare from the new set, and it was the only ultra rare that we were allowed to play. So Jeff chose Spirit Shotgun, and he wanted to play Cassie because Spirit Shotgun says, enhance this attack gets +1 damage for each printed resource symbol in your card pool that matches a resource symbol with a card on your character. Cassie throws in her foundations and gives damage to non-throws, and Spirit Shotgun has an ability that gives it the pseudo-throw ability of if it's full blocked, it still deals half. So just with itself, Spirit Shotgun gets 1 extra damage, so it's an 8. But Cassie gives it damage because of all the foundations that or non-attack cards, excuse me, as well as Shotgun gets extra damage for all the other non-attack cards. So it's possible to throw like 20 plus damage Spirit Shotguns in Cassie and continue your turn. Very, very good card. Let's just see the rest of the deck. I'm gonna leave both these down here so we can reference them as we're going through. So, first and foremost, we're playing a 4 Let's Cut Loose. This card's insane in Cassie Cage. It lets you pick up any foundation that you want, as well as check a 6, as well as drop some foundations down. Cassie likes to fill up her card pool with a once per turn, and it's possible she wants to just build it back down. Let's say it is a Sensomoral, so on our last attack we play the Let's Cut Loose and build it back down after we've done all the cool Cassie stuff. We get to save it again for later. Cards incredibly powerful under the all in good symbols for Cassie, and I recommend you playing this out of 4 of in any Cassie deck that you can. Under our attacks, we are playing the 4 Spirit Shotguns. It's the MVP of the deck. The goal is to just blow people up with this card, play some poke attacks in order to open them up, and then dome them for all of it. So, into our attack lineup, we've got 4 Akimbo. This card draws cards, it hits big damage, it hits big speed. There's just nothing. This card is such a utility in Cassie Cage that you have to run it a 4 of. There's no way that you can't run this card at a 4 of, because sometimes it draws you 3 cards and hits them for 8 because of having a foundation as the front of your card. This card is absolutely nuts. For Glow Kick, the point of this card is to combo with a foundation, so both of these are just like really good lead-in cards, and you get a bunch of speed with Glow Kick, you give a bunch of damage with Cassie. It's almost like the opposite card of Akimbo, where Akimbo gives damage and then Cassie gives speed. You mix it up. In addition to that, you can make your checks better, as well as make your Cassie Cage enhances better, and it doesn't have shabby stats either. So this plus a foundation, and then Akimbo, foundation, Glow Kick, into Spirit Shotgun is a bajillion damage, especially if those foundations that you play don't count towards progressive. It's just playing that Spirit Shotgun on a 7, committing 2 cards, or you know that you get to pass it because of playing as Cassie. Very, very cool stuff. Moving on, we've got 4 Flash Kick. So this is Guile's Flash Kick. The biggest thing about this card is you can add a foundation from your discard pile to your card pool. You can add the foundation to your staging area face down during the end phase. So it is a free build 1 on your turn. You can add in Sense of Morals as well as Burning with Revenge in order to hit some pseudo non-progressive. And then enhance. Your opponent must commit 1 card for each foundation in your card pool. Cassie loves building cards in her card pool. This card's building cards into her card pool. And it does say commit 1 card, so if they run out of foundations to commit, they have to start committing assets and then their characters. So this card can commit my opponent's character if we absolutely need to. It does say Guile Reversal, so we can't use that as part of the ability, but that's fine. That's okay. We're playing double Power Flip, because one of the strongest things that you can do with Cassie is flood her card pool with her own ability plus Power Flip, and then build it all back down and get it for next turn. Give a bunch of speed and then hit him for a bunch. Very, very good ability. It doesn't have a block though, so it's fine. It's fine. Last 2 attacks in the deck are Woodman's Leaf Shield. This here is primarily just for defense, being able to stuff a card in the card pool and then using Shadow Inheritance in order to get a free block of Woodman's Leaf Shield and then damage reduction, the rest of it. If you have that card, plus, let me see if I can find it real quick, this card in your card pool, by itself, after they play an attack, it gets -2 damage and then another -1 because of Carrying the Legacy. So, -3 damage on all their attacks, plus you probably did a full block. You're negating 2 or 3 attacks in a 5 attack card string. Very strong whenever you went all in on your shotgun play and only get to block 1 time. On to the foundations, we're playing 4 Sense of Morals. This card is ridiculous with Cassie because it does not count as progressive. So with Cassie, I stuff it in my card pool, and then I get to keep playing my chain, and then it's just free extra damage as well as looking at the top, confirming checks, and all that jazz. Incredible, incredible card. You should definitely be playing it 4 of. Same with Burning with Revenge. This card's super good when it's in the card pool. You get to give your attack 2 damage, and you can choose to add it down or not. So you can give speed or damage with Cassie, and then 2 more damage, choose to add it down. If you do choose to add it down, you can just add it back up with Cassie on the next turn in order to make some cool stuff happen, and then put it in your discard pile, and then bring it back out with, like, Flash Kick in order to continue just abusing the fact that Burning with Revenge is just such a strong, I think it's an uncommon? Yeah, it's an uncommon. Very good card. It's best played with Nutcracker. Because of the limitations of the format that we gave ourselves, we can't play Nutcracker. We're playing 4 Shadow Inheritance. This is probably Cassie's best card, just because of how much it cheats block progressive. Excuse me, the block modifier in the game. This card is phenomenal, and the Cassie Cage Enhance is not too bad if you need to give extra speed, or primarily if you need to give extra damage. I don't know, like on a Spirit Shotgun, you're just like, oh, it's an extra ability of Cassie. And the card's not unique, so I can have 3 of them out and be like, I killed you with a shotgun. It's another +9+ damage. Playing 4 Carry the Legacy, like I said, Cassie wants to build things up, so it's totally possible for us to build up a Shadow Inheritance because we have to, build down a Carry the Legacy, and then swap them out. Yeah, the Shadow Inheritance is sealed, or whatever card we swap out, but it just saves a foundation. This card just lets us keep abusing Sense of Morals if we absolutely need to. Friends and Rivals, I think this card is... This card's so good in her. After you play an attack that shares at least 2 resource symbols, your opponent commits 2 foundations. So it's stun 2 without being stunned 2, and all of your Cassie cards as well as the Flash Kick. The only attack that doesn't share 2 symbols is Shotgun itself, which we're trying to play later in the chain anyways. So having 2 of these out and then just being like, oh, I'll respond and commit these. Well, I'll shove this committed foundation up into my card pool to get another foundation ready with Cassie. Very, very good. I think this is a really cool find. I didn't even think about this. 4 Toughest Punk in Junior High. It's just damage reduction. Flip, DR, stuff that face down. Keep reusing it. And the cool part about having face downs is we're playing 4 I Have a Sword. Respond commit after your attack deals damage. Add 1 face down foundation from your staging area to your hand. So we just get to recycle these Toughest Punks over and over and over again. Or if they happen to flip our Shadow Inheritances, which is one of the best ways to deal with it, we just pick it back up and play it again. We're playing 4 Folktale Storyteller. We are debuilding our staging area a whole heck of a lot. Or I can just build it into my card pool and not respond with it. Committing and putting a Spirit Shotgun into my deck once I'm low on cards so I can draw them with Cassie's or with the Kimbos is very good. There's just a lot of really good options we have with a utility for Folktale. On the 2-0s, we've got double Kiko's Aid. After you block, it's essentially Breaker 2. Their next attack, this turn gets +2 difficulty. It's like the opposite effect of Journey West. Super strong card, especially when comboed with a Shadow Inheritance. Kieran Soul. Enhanced Flip. It's -1 speed. If you block, no damage. Very good when you have Kiko's Aid plus Shadow Inheritance. It's like these are just such really good defensive packages that there's no reason not to play them. And then once they're flipped, you can either pick them up with I Have a Sword or just stuff them in with Cassie Cage and try and build them in later. Double Leading the Team. While it's in your card pool, your opponent has +1 to block modifiers. It's basically +1 speed. It's on a good spam, and the Desperation response after your opponent's combat phase begins. Seal one of their assets or foundations. It just turns something off if you're in a little bit of a struggle. Double Overly Dramatic. One of the easiest ways to stop Spirit Shotgun is to reduce its damage with something like Deliverance. This card stops that. Double Eviscerate. I thought this was a really interesting choice. Response card pool. After you play this card, add it to your staging area. Only playable if your opponent has more face-down foundations than you. And then response after you're dealt damage, your opponent flips 1 foundation. It's kind of... After you are dealt damage, your opponent flips 1 foundation. It's an interesting play. It is spam. It's a 1/5. It's got all 3 of our symbols. It's just a really good shotgun card. I'm not sure how live the responses are, though. We play double Pursuing a Vendetta because having our selective stuff get blown up by opponent Spirit Shotguns or Spirit Guns or Guilt Seekers is really strong, so I want to be able to build stuff back in. Double Wishing Ward. Momentum is crazy. We gotta get rid of that stuff. One Wandering Pirate. Very strong with Cassie because I get to commit and then ready another thing, as well as stuffing it into the card pool if I need to. It's not great in the card pool, but it's just really, really strong just as a play. And then lastly, one Refusing to Let Go. Commit, reset a damage. Alright everybody, so that was Cassie Cage under Good, playing Spirit Shotgun as her Ultra Rare for our Ultra Rare Challenge in the Campus Championship. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any suggestions for us to do Campus Championships, we're doing a bracketed tournament every week as we go through and create 8 unique decks that have just never been played before, and then put them to the test. If you want to leave a suggestion, go to patreon.com/TCGU, sub at the $1 level, and we'd love to hear your voice. So with that, from all of us here at TCGU, stay learned.